What if the reality you're living, every moment, every thought, is not fixed, but a quantum dance of possibility? What if your deepest desires are not just daydreams, but real frequencies in the universe waiting to collapse into form? What if the boundary between spacetime and quantum isn't out there in distant labs, but right here in your own consciousness? What if the way you feel, the way you believe, the way you observe, actually shapes the universe you inhabit? What if the spiritual realm you've glimpsed in meditation is the same realm physics calls the quantum field? And what if your next thought could become the tipping point where spacetime gives way to quantum manifestation? We live our lives as though reality is a rigid, unchangeable stage. From the early dawn of civilization, human beings have assumed, space is space, time is time, events happen, and we respond. We believe the external world is the cause, and we are the effect. But what if that assumption is deeply limiting? What if the problem is not your circumstances, it's the underlying view of reality itself? Imagine you're stuck in a job you don't love, or a relationship that drains you, or a health challenge that feels relentless. You treat these as fixed. You say, "This is my life. I must accept it and work hard to improve it, or at least tolerate it." You may apply willpower, you may apply effort, you may hope for change, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But there's a sense of frustration. Why am I doing all this and still stuck? The problem is that you're working on the level of spacetime, the linear, cause-and-effect world, without awareness of the deeper quantum substrate where the real creative power lies. Physics tells us that what appears solid is mostly empty space. One fascinating explanation: physical matter arises from a field of possibilities, a quantum realm where things exist in superposition, in latent potential, until observation and interaction cause them to collapse into form. The spiritual traditions tell us, consciousness is primary, your thoughts and feelings shape your world. The modern self-help world tells us, manifest your desires, align your vibration, follow your heart. But each of these on its own falls short. The problem: we're either trapped in the scientific view of objects moving in space and time, or we're lost in spiritual shortcuts of just think positive and it happens. Here's the deeper pain: you feel like you're watching life pass you by, while your inner world feels powerless. You may sense that something more is possible, but you don't know how to access it. You may have vision boards, affirmations, meditation apps, but you lack a bridge between your inner dreaming and outer reality. You may read about quantum physics and feel wonder, but you don't know how to embody it. And so your reality stays stuck. One emotional story: Sarah, a teacher from Ohio, dreamed of writing a book, launching a podcast, and living with purpose. She created Pinterest boards, did journaling, did affirmations, and year after year nothing changed. At 42 she still lived in a small rented apartment, worried about bills, feeling her big dream slipping away. Meanwhile, every time she meditated, she glimpsed a version of herself on stage, microphone in hand, audience alive. She wondered, is that just fantasy? Or is that me? The gap between the felt possibility and the lived reality became wound. She felt disconnected, frustrated, unseen. The problem, then, is twofold. 1. Reality as we know it is misconceived, we treat it as fixed, separate, external. 2. We lack a practical way to cross from inner possibility to outer manifestation. We may read about quantum mechanics, we may feel spiritual stirrings, but we don't know how to apply them in everyday life. If we continue to operate only in spacetime, I must grind, I must make this happen, we stay in struggle. If we float only in spiritual theory, just let it flow, it will happen, we stay in waiting. We need a new vantage point, the threshold where spacetime becomes quantum. Here is where the light enters. The discovery is this: there is a meeting point between quantum physics and spirituality. And when you locate it, you realize you are not just living within reality, you are participating in reality's creation. Quantum physics teaches us that beneath the seeming solidity of the world lies a field of infinite possibility. In that realm, particles exist not as fixed points but as probability waves, possibilities that only become actual when observed or interacted with. It tells us that everything is energy, vibration, frequency, even the physical world is emergent from something deeper. Spiritually, we have always known, you are consciousness, your feelings and intentions matter, you are linked to a vast intelligence beyond personal identity. The discovery is, the two are describing the same thing from different angles. Let's illustrate with story. Michael, a software engineer in California, was deep in burnout. He had chased promotions, bonuses, recognition. But the harder he ran, the less alive he felt. One evening, in a dreamlike state, he recalled a memory of being a child, running barefoot in a meadow, feeling unlimited, free. He sat in stillness, asked, "What if I could live from that place again?" In that moment something shifted. Over the next weeks, subtle synchronistic events appeared. A stranger at a cafe told him of a podcast about quantum consciousness. He felt drawn to a meditation group. He sensed a new possibility of work rooted in service rather than climb. Within months he left his job, started a small coaching practice, and felt the aliveness he'd long forgotten. He didn't just resign, he relocated his identity from separate engineer chasing career to conscious creator aligned with a field of possibility. That shift was the discovery. What was actually happening? You might call it a quantum signal. When your thoughts and feelings align with a vision, you send a coherent vibration into the field. The field responds. As one writer puts it, clear intention or imagination plus a matching emotion equals powerful manifestation. The discovery is that manifestation is not just about doing more, it's about being different. Once your internal vibration matches the frequency of the reality you wish to inhabit, the outer world begins to mirror that. The observer effect, known in quantum physics, shows that simply observing or measuring influences outcomes. The spiritual truth, your attention is sacred, your feelings are potent. So when you intentionally align your inner world, you engage the quantum substrate. Another important piece, entanglement and coherence. Quantum entanglement means that separate particles can become instantaneously linked across space. This suggests deep connection beyond apparent separation. In spiritual terms, we are not isolated, we are part of a unified field. When you tap into that, your manifestation shifts from solo effort to co-creation with the universe. In summary, the discovery is, there is a threshold, a zone where spacetime, the physical world, gives way to quantum possibility, and you can step into that zone through symbol, thought, feeling, and presence. You discover your authentic power as creator. Having discovered the threshold, the next question is, how do you cross it? What is the method by which you navigate from the physical world of spacetime into the quantum realm of possibility, and manifest a life aligned with that deeper dimension? I will guide you step by step, blending practical exercises with quantum spiritual insights. Step 1. Clarify your quantum signal. Begin by writing a vision, not, "I want this job," but, "I am living this life." Write in the present tense, "I live in a bright space, doing work I love, radiating joy, helping others, feeling abundant." Next, feel the emotion of that vision. Close your eyes. Imagine it vividly. What does your body feel like? What is the sensation in your heart? The fusion of clear thought plus elevated feeling forms your coherent quantum signal. As one article explains, thoughts equals electric charge, emotions equals magnetic charge. Practical exercise, set aside 10 minutes each morning. Write your vision. Then close your eyes and breathe deeply, feeling the emotion of that reality. Visualize, sense, embody. Record any subtle shifts you notice during the day. A thought arises, a synchronicity appears, something aligns. Step 2. Enter presence and align frequency. Quiet your mind through meditation. When your mind stills, you begin to tune into the quantum field. One writer, meditation, our consciousness, a quantum entity, interacts with the universe at a fundamental level. Practical exercise, choose a time each day, 5 minutes minimum, to sit in silence. Notice your breath. Let your mental chatter soften. Then ask, What frequency is this vision at? Feel it as a vibration in your being, lightness, openness, love, creativity. Align your daily actions to that frequency. That means you act from the state of already being your vision, not towards it. For example, if you vision being joyful teacher, choose actions this week that express joy in small ways, helping a student, sharing a laugh, being present. Step 3. Collapse the wave, inspired action and detachment. In quantum theory, possibilities exist until measured, then the wave collapses into a specific outcome. In manifestation terms, you send your signal, steps 1 and 2, then you take inspired action aligned with that signal, and you detach from the exact, how, or timeline. Practical exercise: identify one inspired action this week that aligns with your vision. It could be reaching out to a mentor, signing up for a class, having a heart conversation, creating a piece of content. Do it, then release attachment. Trust the field to respond. Maintain coherence. If thoughts and feelings diverge, e.g., you think, "I will succeed," but feel fear, you generate an incoherent signal. Practical exercise: when negative feelings arise, bring awareness to them. Acknowledge, "I am feeling fear," then shift, "I choose to feel expanded possibility." Replace it with a feeling matching your vision. Step 4. Embody the reality and share the reflection. The final part of the method is embodying the new identity. You don't just get what you want, you become who you are when you have it. People who manifest successfully tell stories of identity shift. The inner you changes, the outer world mirrors that. Practical exercise: at the end of each day, journal, "Today I was the person who already lives my vision by doing/feeling/being _____. Recognize and celebrate small wins. Contextualize your transformation in story. For example, tell yourself a story of the past you, struggle, limited, the present you, awakened, aligned, the future you, living your dream. Use vivid emotional texture, because emotions anchor quantum signals. By using this method, clarify vision plus feeling, align presence plus frequency, inspired action plus detachment, embody identity plus reflection, you step into that threshold where spacetime becomes quantum, where possibility becomes real. When you adopt this method, something profound happens. Your life stops being a series of random events and becomes a mirror of your inner world. This transformation is not simply external, it is internal, identity shifting, heart opening. Let's return to Sarah, from section 1. After applying the method, she continued her morning practice. She wrote her vision, she felt the emotion, she meditated, she acted. Within 90 days she didn't receive a huge windfall, instead she noticed her inner voice change. She felt more aligned, noticed more coincidences, began offering her voice in small ways. Then one Friday she spontaneously accepted a speaking opportunity. Her dream book idea emerged naturally. From the outside, she started writing, got interviewed, and found readers. From the inside, she shifted from "I'm stuck" to "I'm the creator of my experience." That shift created the outer change. The transformation has layers. Layer 1, identity. You stop identifying with limitation, "I'm just a teacher, I'm just this salary, I'm just this body." You begin identifying with possibility. I am a consciousness linked to the field of creation. The old self dissolves, the new self emerges. Layer 2, relationship with time and space. In spacetime mindset we live by linear cause and effect, first this, then that. In the quantum spiritual mindset we recognize possibility, collapse, choice. We begin to feel that space isn't empty, time isn't simply passing. We feel connected to a field of potential. You start seeing that a decision now ripple across what feels like years. You begin living as though time is your ally, not your enemy. Layer 3, influence on reality. You begin to perceive synchronicities, alignments, meaningful coincidences. That's because your internal signal has become coherent, your vibration aligns with a new branch of reality. The quantum field answers by reorganizing possibilities. One writer, manifestation is a co-creative process between your mind, energy, and external reality. That doesn't mean you sit passively. It means you act from alignment. You sense the flow and you move. Layer 4, Service and Mission. A deeper change happens. Your manifestation doesn't only reflect personal gain, but purpose. When you align deeply, your vision often expands into mission. You begin to ask, how can my newly expressed self serve others? How can this field of potential be shared? The outer transformation becomes spiritual. The new you doesn't just have more, you contribute more. Another story, Michael, the engineer turned coach, started helping others align with their vision. His business grew, but it was not about the money, it was about impact. His quantum signal had shifted from, I achieve for myself, to, I awaken others. The reality reflected that shift. Emotionally, this transformation brings relief, joy, expansion, gratitude. You begin to live from possibility rather than fear. You wake up in the morning knowing, I'm not waiting for life to happen. I'm participating in what's happening. You feel alive in a way you haven't before. And importantly, you discover you are not separate from the quantum field. You're not a small actor inside reality. You're a creator within reality. You realize that the question, at what point does spacetime become quantum, is actually pointing to the moment you shift your attention, realign your heart, and step into a higher frequency. That's your quantum moment. Now, with this transformation comes a mission. It is time to take what you've learned, what you've become, and share it. Your life becomes an offering. This is your chance to step into your quantum empowerment and bring light into the world. Your mission statement. You are here to awaken to the quantum reality that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a conscious creator of experience. You are here to bridge the worlds of science and spirit, to live in a space where spacetime becomes quantum and to guide others there too. Let me share a vivid story. In a small town in Michigan lived a woman named Rosa. She had lost her son in a car accident and felt grief that destabilized her world. In her darkest hour she discovered the quantum manifestation method. She practiced clarifying vision, a life transformed through joy and purpose, aligning feeling. She began to feel peace and love for her son in another dimension. Taking action, she started a support group, and embodying identity, she became a beacon of light for grief survivors. Over time she built a global community, using her experience to help others shift. Her mission emerged from her pain but transformed into purpose. That's the quantum mission. Now here's your invitation. Start your vision now. Use the method. Begin your daily practice. Clarify your quantum signal. Live deliberately. Choose one inspired action this week. Choose one moment each day to align your inner world. Share your story. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up. Your journey will ripple outward. Be the bridge. Use your transformation not just for yourself, but for others. Teach, serve, inspire. Ask the deeper question daily, at what point does spacetime become quantum for me? When do I sense the field opening? How do I respond? Your mission is to illuminate the pathway from limiting spacetime thinking to expansive quantum living. To show that this isn't mystical fluff, but grounded in science and spirituality. As one article stated, the precise mechanics reveal how our thoughts and energy influence the reality we experience. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need external credentials. You need alignment, presence, clarity, and inspired action. Call to action. If you're ready to step into this threshold, to become the creator you are, then I invite you to take one bold step right now. Pause this video. Open your journal. Write, I am the creator of my reality. I step from spacetime to quantum. Then set a timer for 5 minutes and feel the frequency of your vision. Tomorrow morning, commit to your 10-minute practice. Share this message with someone who is ready. Subscribe to this channel, join our quantum community. Drop a comment below, I'm in, and hold yourself to that. Your field is listening. Your reality will respond. The tipping point is here. The threshold is yours. The question isn't if, but when. And your answer begins now.